Unprofessional as Fuck Podcast.
Chicken number killers in my living room. I need 30 bands a month till my children grown. I know the feeling's gone, so I'm here to live it for 'em. I don't like rap unless you live your songs. But if you don't like Jack, you haven't lived it.
Yeah.
Before you just hate, why don't you
It's been a minute, y'all. Hope y'all, stay patient. Appreciate y'all tuning in, tapping in. Got a special show for y'all today, special guest. No rhyme, no reason. We just want to get straight to the shit. Missed y'all, miss doing this. Miss being as active as I should be. Not gonna make no excuses, just gonna execute going forward. With that being said, this is, without a shadow of a doubt, the talking in town, what your town is talking about. A professional as fuck with your host, Rug, with a special guest in the building today. Shout out to the homie Chuy. What's happening, bro?
Hey, what's up with it, man? Just here chilling, man.
How you doing, fam?
I'm just chilling, bro. Just trying to chill.
Hey, man, I appreciate you joining me, bro. We was over here just lamping and it was like, all right, bro, really just coming to the fire. It's like, bro, let's get it. You know, we get to it, man. Real business motherfucking orientated out here, man. What's up with the brother?
Been 5 years since she died the other day. I copped a 20 pack and got it off the next day.
Location remote right now in the Honeycomb Hideout, but man, little backstory on how I met the homie Chuy, man. Through my brother, man, we, been chilling, and he was like, yo, this my bro, like, he's really solid people. I'm like, dog, if you were to tell somebody that, if you telling me somebody's coming through, I already know. Like, it goes without saying, say less. Bro comes through. And genuine ass person, bro. So with all that being said, like, to be here now is dope because we'll be able to have a conversation that's on some real shit. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be sugarcoated, not gonna be fraudulent. Not that it ever is, but this is one of the most transparent motherfuckers I've ever seen in this world. You feel me?
Never sugarcoat nothing, brother.
Not at all, not at all. So, I mean, there's really no rhyme or reason to this one, bro. Like, it ain't. I don't want to sit here and talk about music. I don't want to talk about fucking rappers who are in trials and all this shit. Like, it's been beaten through the mud so many times at this point. I'm not a fucking courtroom, whatever you would call that, right? Fucking journalist, you know what I mean? I'm not inside the building with these people. I can't really give you the inside scoop. So rather than that, I would rather just talk to the bro about some real shit, man. I mean,
understandable, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, we could start anywhere, bro. Like, there's a lot of parallels in our life right now, whether it be, situations that we're dealing with that necessarily has to be delved into, but could kind of be talked about in a roundabout way if need be. Other than that, you got a story about yourself, man. Like, a lot of shit that's going on, not that, whatever it is that you are willing to discuss, want to discuss, I just feel like there's a lot of knowledge that you can kick to people in a way that's going to be easily digestible because it's no bullshit.
No, that's right. Like, I understand what you're saying, right? But to top it off, like, I ain't fake. I ain't sugarcoating shit. I say how it is. It is what it is. Like, if you hate me, you hate me. If you don't, you don't. Like, it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? Like,
bro, I told you, it's all you can ask for from a person. You know what I mean? Is just genuine, just being themselves. Whether, like you said, take it or leave it. You know what I mean? Nobody really needs to. Nobody needs anybody's acceptance. So if you go about life in a way that you are who you are, you're gonna get what you were supposed to get. For the most part, you know what I mean? With that being said, bro, like, your story, from what you shared with me, is some real, deep shit. You go a bunch of different parallel ways, but as far as, like, I'm gonna ask you this question: a young man in your position, at whatever age you want to think back to in life, if you had somebody with the knowledge that you have now that was able to talk to you at that age, what would be something that you would try to warn that person of going forward?
I would say, like, if you're gonna do something, bro, do it to your best ability, and like, if you're gonna be out there in the streets, bro, do it with all the heart that you have. And if you're not gonna be fully with it, then don't do it at all. Because at the end of the day, bro, you really fucking, like, you have to die behind the shit that you do. You're not just faking in the funk, pretty much. Like, it is what it is, and you have to give it all you got. Because at the end of the day, like, whatever you do in the streets, bro, it leads back to being incarcerated and shit like that. And I'm not trying to get into that, like, too much, but it is what it is. And pretty much, like, the streets is like a little fucking gateway to what you do in prison. Like, the background that you have, it leads to all that shit. And like, don't try to
Unprofessional, my bad. Go ahead.
no, you good. Like, you don't try to fake the funk about the shit that you do. If you're gonna do something, do it to your best ability, and just know that you, like, if you're gang banging or whatever it may be, do it to your best. Like, know that you're gonna lose your life over the fact that you might be gang banging over the certain color or certain set, whatever it may be. Just do it with the bottom of your heart, because it's a gateway to
A future, regardless of where it leads, right?
yeah, pretty much.
So, like, without whatever it is that, like, basically, I don't think that you're a person who would live with regrets. I really feel like you're a person who is like, however it happened is how it happened. You just got to adapt and get to it. You know what I mean? Get through shit rather than sit and complain, just go and complete, right?
Right.
So with that being said, like, I don't even want to ask you if there's anything that you would have changed. I just want to say, like, with the way that you said that, like, the passionate way, as far as, like, with your whole heart.
Nothing. I wouldn't change nothing.
I figured that, right?
Because it's like, it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? You learn through what you go through in life. And if I didn't go through those, some of the steps that I went through, I wouldn't be where I'm at now, or I wouldn't be the person that I am today.
Yeah. So, understanding all of that, do you think that what you obviously went through is obviously what shaped you and what has made you the person that you are today, regardless of what, you know what I mean, your roadblocks that you hit, and then having the ability to go through that, right? Conquer whatever it is that came your way. Do you think that as a person who was given adversity and had to go and get through it, do you think that's the route that you would have wanted to go if you had an opportunity, like a different situation where where the spectrum was flipped? Like, there's a lot of people who got hella hugs, hella love, hella support, and still go out and be knuckleheads. They got to be stubborn and like,
I wouldn't say it's like what I chose. I think it was like the environment that I had, or the mindset that I had at the moment. You get what I'm saying? Like, I chose the streets at the moment, or better yet, I chose the bad influence or the bad stuff over the good stuff, due to the fact that I was a product of my environment. You get what I'm saying? To be honest with you, it is what it is. I started like hitting fucking licks and doing dumb shit at the age of or not the age, the grade of 6th grade, because I was kicked out of middle school at 6th grade. You get what I'm saying? So that lead me to like a continuation school that you got out early.
Okay.
And then that was like a lead
more
way
time to what they say, free time could be good or a bad thing, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And it is what it is. But like, I didn't mean to harm anybody because I didn't even know better. You get what I'm saying? It, like, how do I explain it, bro? It's hard to like tell you,
learning as you go, right?
Yeah, pretty much, bro. You learn as you go with the stuff that comes with being living through the stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, dog. Like, to me, I don't know many people in middle school being kicked out. Like, I know a lot of, like, me, myself, same shit. High school, truancy. Not really, I don't know other shit, but just truancy. I would ditch, I would go kick it at the house, have people come through 1, 2.5 damn times. I was let go from the high school.
Right,
so
right.
I was also continuation. You get out at 12:30, 1 o'clock.
What I did was I fucking took a a BB gun to school, and that's what led me to be in a continuation school. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was doing dumb shit that maybe I thought that was cool, and maybe people accepted me, and it led me in the wrong way. You get what I'm saying? Like,
So would you say it was more so like
to be accepted, to be honest with you, like to be recognized for something that it wasn't something to be proud of at the moment.
Got you.
But
yeah, that's what I was going to ask is like, was it a curiosity or more intrigued by those type of decisions or like the acceptance? And you said the acceptance. So now at the age that you're at now with the knowledge that you have now, did you get the acceptance that you wanted there now looking back, or was it more so like a false sense of?
I would say that it was false, like false beliefs in myself and stuff that I thought that I would get recognized for, but at the end of the day, I was just fucking my own fucking.
The attention that you got was from other sources that you weren't really seeking, like whether it be law or authority of whatever, school, shit like that, right? Rather than the homies or
right. Yeah. And it's fucked up, but you had to go through the shit to understand it, because I could say something and someone could hear me out, but it's actually going through the trials and tribulations, through the actions,
hands-on experience and the consequences of, and you know how you go forward after that.
Right.
In any aspect, right? It could be whether it's going down that route, whether it's some people get schooling and they give you books, and then eventually you go into that trade and you're like, no, I gotta touch these things, I gotta put my hands on this shit. That's how I really learn, right? Whatever it is, but so with that education, the way that it came, right? What would you say was a pivotal moment where you were like, okay, now I know this is a false sense of hope. Now I know.
Once I was facing the certain time I was facing in prison. You get what I'm saying? Once that actually
shit hit the fan.
Yeah. Once actually like they threw numbers at me that were double digits.
Oh shit.
That's when I was like, okay, well this shit's real. You get what I'm saying? This is not a fucking joke to anybody else, let alone to me. You get what I'm saying?
For sure. And like you said,
that's when I was like, okay, well, I have to do my time because I did the actions, not nobody else. I'm gonna take it to the chin because I did it. You get what I'm saying? Nobody forced me to do it. I did it because I wanted to, even though like I was influenced by other people, but that doesn't matter at the time that you actually getting interviewed by cops and telling you like, hey, who was with you doing time. Like
a lot of people will look to go ahead and share some information, get a shorter sentence or whatever, right?
Right.
So my question now is like, obviously, that's a accountability that a lot of people don't have. A lot of people will do all the crime or whatever it is that they do, and then once that comes their way, it's like no, whatever, right? And so that just shows a lot of the makeup of you right away. The accountability. I did it. Nobody forced me. I wasn't, coerced. It was my decision. I'm gonna take it on the chin. I'm gonna, deal with the consequences as is. So, I want to ask you if you don't mind sharing, like, at that moment when those numbers are getting thrown to you, right? Because there's a lot of people who have no idea of that,
right.
And they're gonna hear shit and they're gonna learn from you, or at least try to take it in. And then there may be people who have been in that situation. So, can you put me in that exact moment, if you don't mind, when those numbers are getting thrown, like what that was to you at that time?
At first, I felt like it's disrespectful. You get what I'm saying? Because of the fact that I knew that the other people that I did commit the crime with, or two, they had some issues with me. You get what I'm saying? At the moment, like
you had a way to justify it yourself.
Yeah, justify it myself, even though that
it's a crime, but you had some fucking reasoning behind it in your mind.
Yeah, so when that shit happened, it was like, oh, well, they have some fault into what I did. You get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I have to fucking take accountability of myself. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, it fucked me up a little bit, but I had to take my L and do what I had to do and take that time. At first, when they were talking about double digits, I was like, fuck that. You get what I'm saying? I even fired my fucking public attorney or whatever.
Yeah.
And I ended up kind of like trying to get that deal back on the table.
Got it.
But they were pissed off at the fact that I denied the deal. So they were gonna go up to like 8 years, et cetera, et cetera. Like,
try to make an example.
Yeah, like, oh, you trying to fuck with us? Like, so now I got the deal back on the table. So I took it. You get what I'm saying? I took the L. Like, it is what it is, because of the fact that at the end of the day, I know what I did. You get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, I knew that I committed that crime. Besides the fact that, like, other people may say, oh, he's a bad person because he did that or whatever it may be, I know what I did, and I got to take that loss.
Yeah, because at that point, no matter if you do have justification in your mind or something that other people would agree with you at, that side of the story is not discussed.
Right.
You did this, black and white. They don't want to hear shit.
Right.
And I have, a friend of mine that's in a situation right now that's very, it's sad and depressing to me, bro. Like you said, a justification, not something that is just solely with him. Things that people who know him feel that way about.
Right.
And even a perfect stranger who heard the story as it is,
like,
would feel that
maybe
way.
that other person did gangbang and was pressing the line on that other person. You get what I'm saying?
Or even more egregious shit, like something that wouldn't even
or
have to be.
He was getting robbed, and he was caught in his own house and ended up having to shoot that person and killed them. But he was getting robbed, so now it's like, oh, what did he do to deserve that? Oh, well, he was robbing somebody. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But the state of California is crazy, right? Because in California now they're talking about you might be in super trouble, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
Somebody comes in your house defending yourself. Now you have to prove that these fools were you're in fear of your life.
Yeah, and you have to do that time because of that. So it's like, oh, so you're telling me that I have to do time over the fact that I defended myself,
My family.
over the fact that this guy was trying to rob me? Like, that doesn't make sense, but that's what it is, and that's
A stranger coming into your house unannounced, whether that's 3 o'clock in the morning or 3 p.m. That ain't, I'm gonna whatever. I can tell you right now, I'm in fear. Whatever you need to hear.
All right.
Fear of my life. This is what I'm doing. I'm protecting my shit, protecting my house. You should be able to do that.
Yeah, you should.
And it's just crazy. Like
me being on the opposite side. You get what I'm saying? I agree with the person having to defend himself.
Yeah.
Because of that fact, you get what I'm saying? Because I understand that I was in the wrong doing what I did and the crime that I committed, doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
But you still like going to prison and going through the classes that you go through in the end, like being the victim. You have to put yourself in the victim's shoes and stuff like that. And it's only right, bro, because that person, his kids might not grow up the same as
ever forget it. The change forever.
It's a change forever, like you said, bro. So it's like,
bro, if your house get broke into, not even being there, but like if you like, I remember an instance where side door to the garage, busted off the frame.
Yeah, and I agree with that,
people
bro.
trying to get into the house, right? You can see screwdrivers, everything. They were trying to get into the crib.
Bro, I remember one time when I was doing the lick. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this might fucking fuck me up or whatever, but I'm gonna speak on it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. But I was hitting a house, and the dude's chasing me down fucking Anyakai, and he's fucking running after me and telling me like, "Hey, stop that guy."
Yeah.
And I ended up fucking getting away from dude, but I'm in the back of someone's house. Fucking breathing hella heavy, like going through some shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is like, you do shit that it's like you did it due to like growing up.
Yeah.
Growing up, bro, it is part of growing up, bro, and it's fucked up or whatever. But like that's what comes with growing up. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to really explain it, but it's part of growing up.
It's
growing up in the ghetto, I guess. I don't know,
well, like you go into, I'm sure that like people who are gonna go in the spot not knowing blindly, right? You don't know if there's somebody in there. You don't know what's in there. You don't know what's going on. It's a risk and adrenaline, and really, it's an all or nothing type of joint. I'm assuming, right, from the outside looking in. So when somebody does give that chase, and now you have that, most people are going to be in fear,
right?
Cower or try to dip, or call police and hope to try to scare you, whatever, to run away. Right. But for somebody to be chasing you down now, it's like, okay, damn near worst case scenario, right? Rather than somebody pulling out a gun or whatever it may be, but.
Well, just imagine, like, if that was the case, you get what I'm saying? He has the whole right to blow me down, you get what I'm saying? Like, he does, you get what I'm saying? And at the moment, I'm thinking, like, oh, it's nothing, right? But the reality is that he does, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though that, like, the law now, it allows people to do shit like that. And that's fucked up because... Me being the person that's actually doing the crime, it's fucked up because you're vandalizing somebody's fucking home. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't fucking feel safe after that. They're not gonna fucking. They're gonna feel horrible after that because you vandalized their home, so they don't fucking feel safe after that.
It's a straight violation of their comfort, right? In their safe space now. Exactly. They're going to lock their door and walk to their couch, whatever it may be, and they're going to be TV down low, you know what I mean, damn near on mute.
Exactly.
In their home, yeah. So aside from, like, those instances, those moments, the realization that came from it.
It all came, I recognize all that due to the fact that I was in prison and being through those classes that I did as victims. Like, that's what that came from. You get what I'm saying? So I do believe that being a victim, I mean, like, being in those classes, it helps you put yourself in the victim's person point of view. You get what I'm saying? Like,
so I was going to ask you about that because you said classes a couple of times, and so is that when you say classes, it basically puts you in that other shoe? Put you in that other view perspective, and then it kind of redoes the situation?
Right. Like, you go through what the person that is a victim went through. You get what I'm saying? Like, his sons or his kids ain't going to be without a dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so that's real shit. Like, that's.
So, not to cut you off, but just to try to, like, God, at least ask this certain type of thing. Like, is that something that only applies to certain crimes, or is that something that applies across the board? Like, if
it's across the board, bro. It's across the board because it's a victim. It's a victim in any case. It could be a home invasion. It could be murder. It could be whatever it may be. Go ahead.
All right, and so
it doesn't necessarily have to be a weak ass case to, like, a domestic violence. You're still messing with someone else's their mental. Yeah, so it's fucked up.
Oh man, so when you are thinking from that other perspective now, does it hit home right away, or does it take some time? Does it have to go through certain motions where you're like, oh, fuck, I didn't think about that because I was thinking about what I needed to do, whatever it may be. Like, at what point in those classes is it when the family gets involved, like what their mindset's gonna be, or is it like
it's not the family because you don't get to see the family or nothing like that. It's more of you just gotta put yourself in the situation that if they're kids, you get what I'm saying? And now having kids, now being a parent, now you realize, like, oh, that situation, like, it really hits home, you know?
Yeah. Do you think with the knowledge and experience and everything that you've gone through, is there a way that you think that you could get to your children? And because, you know, people are going to do what they're going to do. Stubborn and hard-headed people, no matter what it is, they're going to feel it to believe it. Do you think there is something that you could say or you could do or you could guide them to where they can avoid?
Like change?
Just avoid those, whatever it may be.
Well, I think that like being there and being a parent, it has a lot to do with that. Like
being present.
Yeah, being present. Because like me, I didn't have my parents. Well, I didn't have both of my parents. I had one of my parents, which is my mom, and yeah, she did the above and beyond to be there for me. But
at the end of the day, like, women can't raise men, right?
Right.
Through certain things.
Right.
It comes to a certain age where it's like, okay, this is a whole different ball game, and they tried their hardest, bro.
Right.
But of course, I mean, as a single parent, you're also not being able to be present as often.
Right.
Long work days, whatever it may be. You come home, you're exhausted. You cook or you bring something to the house, whatever it may be, right? But
my mom pretty much worked like a 12-hour shift, so
yeah. And they came home and worked a mom shift.
Yeah, and it was like we only seen her pretty much asleep at like 3 a.m. pretty much. So it was hard. You get what I'm saying? As far as like being a parent for her, but like I said, it is what it is, and you got to go through all those stuff to be who you are as an adult.
And did that kind of feed into some of the decision making, like seeing?
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah.
Because if I was, I would say like if I was going to like soccer practice or anything like that, I wouldn't really be in the streets like that, and that's what led me to be in the streets. In all reality, you know.
Yeah. Man, like it hits home when you say, like, when I asked you what can we do to avoid those type of things, and you say be present, right? Like, as men, we hold our hat on what we do, and it's not for a pat on the back, it's not for a participation trophy. Like, we try to break cycles,
right?
The good ones, right?
Right.
A lot of people are out here like, I'm learning on the fly. I never had a dad, and they use that as a cop out to continue to do the shit that they hated. Right. Or the harder route and the road less traveled, to sit down and be like, I won't accept that. That's not going to be an option for me.
Right.
Where, you know, the mothers usually take that on. We speak of our moms. You speak of your mom. She didn't have an option to not get to it. She had to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I was raised by my mom. My sister's there too, and I seen them just there wasn't a quit. Whereas men will, you know, get up, get out. If it's uncomfortable, we're gonna shake the spot. Most, not all, certainly not us, but.
Oh, you're right, because like my sisters, they were there, but they weren't really there. Like they were there as in.
Were they older than you or younger?
Yeah, older than me. Yeah, they were older than me, but they didn't take that role upon themselves to be there. You get what I'm saying? And it's fucked up to say it, right? And my sisters might be like, "Oh, look down upon me about it," but it is what it is, and
yeah,
the fact is that they weren't there. You get what I'm saying?
What is the age difference, like the age gaps?
Like 3 years.
Okay.
And then after that is a year. So after.
So I mean, y'all were growing up together.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's different. Like if there's a huge age gap, not even a huge, but 5 years, 10 years, something like that. The switch might flip, but it's like when you have a young, like when people have really young moms, it's like they're growing up together. Your best friend is more than like a parental role, right? So I mean, for me in my situation, the closest sister to me, I was the youngest, of course. Like from that perspective, same thing. 3 older sisters, 10-year gap from me to the next sister, right? Yeah. And then they're close in age. But with that being said, like they were all in different positions in life. To be able to like, okay, they were just going through the motions themselves. So now you're working. Your little brother's a kid.
Right.
You're going to having your job. You have expendable cash. I mean, you're not really shooting hella money for rent. Like all these different things that are really on your shoulders. You're gonna be, oh shit, you know, be able to do certain things. And what's fucked up is, even in that instance, I can speak for myself and say, of course, I got a very big advantage and shit, but you still, like I said, you're stubborn. So you're gonna go out and you're gonna make your fucking family toss and turn with concern because you just want to go do what you want to do. Yeah. And it's selfish as fuck, right? But even then, you sit there and you like how naive and how fucking ignorant
Right.
to feel like I'm going through something.
Right.
When there's real fucking situations, real life shit being done around, happening.
Yeah.
And you're sitting here like, oh,
In your environment, pretty much.
yeah, but I mean, fuck. The environment was what? You had too much comfortability? Like the house was you had too much, like the free time that I had was also the empty house.
Right.
I'll go to school right down the street, and now I'm going to turn around and come right back. I'm going to see, hey, who want to come over here?
Right.
We're gonna
At
smoke
12
weed.
o'clock, I was beating out. So at 12 o'clock, I was running amok, and
Yeah.
that like right there is what led to me being out in the streets. Like 12 o'clock, bro. People are at work and shit. So
Barely
I was-
lunchtime for people.
yeah. So pretty much like I'm hitting fucking someone's house. You get what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
And it's fucked up, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Because I was trying to get mine.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
And
percent.
maybe it wasn't much. Like maybe it was just like a PlayStation or whatever it may
Yeah.
be, a GameCube or whatever it may be. But that's what kept me happy or whatever it may be
Yeah.
at the time. And I led to bigger shit than that. You get what I'm saying? That shit led to bigger stuff
Yeah.
than I'm
Higher
going in there,
stakes.
going in there for like gold or whatever it may be.
Now the money amount changes, and then you go from one to an upper charge.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, that's crazy because like,
And all that because you don't have the guidance. You know what I'm saying? Because of your parents. Yeah, you may have them in your life, or like I speak for myself, right? Maybe I did have them, but not necessarily there. You get what I'm saying? Like,
they're in the physical, but not able to be as present, watching over your shoulder, as in tune with everything that's going on. Not even a detriment to them, but just based on circumstances.
yeah,
Like I say a lot of times, like I took a lot of shit from different people's tool bags. Like as far as like being a father and shit like that.
yeah,
I was fucking up at home by myself over here where we at now.
right,
And it got to the point to where I had to like I guess I take a slight bit of pride in the fact that I was never hitting a for real rock bottom.
right,
I kind of like stopped myself along the way.
right, right.
Like I made a conscious decision, like this is bad enough for me, right? So I go, and I'm like, what's the next logical move? Let's move from here. Let's go get a change of view, a change of environment. Because in Tracy, I'll tell you right now, bro, and it's no knock to anybody who's here, but if you're in the Bay Area, you're in the metropolitan space or something, there's so much motion around you. If you're not moving, you stick out like a sore thumb.
Right.
But in a place like Tracy, where everybody's like, oh, we were just school and you can have 25 motherfuckers come with you, nobody's pushing you. You're not being motivated by people around you for the most part, right? And complacency is you get company in it. Whereas, and that also shapes your future, right? You might now be so lackadaisical as far as your hustle is concerned, start working late, and now in turn later on in life you're gonna be working, right? Whereas somebody who went through all this shit, they're now gonna be like, okay, I'm getting to it. I'm business orientated. They're gonna look at everything as far as like, hey man, you look at it this way, but why would you not do it this way, right? Maximize your profitability, maximize your time, your efforts, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a double-edged sword.
It's a false belief though. At the end of the day, it's a false belief because you think of the certain shit, but at the end of the day, that's not right. You get what I'm saying? As a victim,
Okay.
it's not right. And like I said, that's what I learned as far as going to prison and going through the last classes that I went through. But like being a victim is like you put yourself in the situation that the other person, like let's say they don't feel comfortable being in their home.
Yeah.
If you get burglarized, they don't feel comfortable being in their home. Stuff like that. And it's like it's fucked up, right?
Start adapting your life. I don't want my kid to be there after school by themselves though. I want to work close, or I want to get off at this time. I'm working midnight shifts or whatever, right?
Right.
Crazy.
You're absolutely right. And
And,
it's fucked up, but it's the environment that we get brought up in.
But to shoot a little bit of bail and play devil's advocate to this, now imagine if those victims had to be on the other side of the shoes as well. What would they have done? You know what I mean? What with their back against the wall and with the situation that whoever is in, when they're making that decision. It's not because it's cool.
Right.
It's because whatever it be, right? There's people who rob banks and they got away with fucking 55 bank robberies, but because it's easy fucking money, you get a sense of like adrenaline. You get addicted to it damn near, right?
Yeah,
it's too easy. Like you go swipe that shit from the register at a place you work at, you're gonna keep fucking doing it until the shit hits the fan, right? So like, it's like if those people are put in that situation, the people who are the victims now, just to put you in that perspective as well, like who knows what the fuck they would have done?
Yeah.
And more likely than not, they probably wouldn't have had whatever you want to call it, courage or the tenacity to be like, fuck it, this is what I'm gonna do. Some people would be in a situation and just be like, well, this is what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
you're right. That's what I'm telling you. Like, it's an environment thing.
Yeah.
Like if your environment is that, then you're gonna lead to that.
Yeah.
That's what I think at least.
Yeah.
But I may be wrong. You get what I'm saying? Like,
well,
it may not. You get what I'm saying?
I think everybody's a different case, a different type of, because there's some people who would be in that situation and they wouldn't be, maybe they wouldn't even feel the, I wouldn't say like the responsibility to like, or even have the concern for the situation they're in, or look at the parent situation or the family situation, right? To
Right.
just be like,
But you get that once you go through the system. You don't feel that way once you're doing the action, because you're just doing it to do it.
okay,
But once you actually put yourself in that situation where you're the victim, then you start realizing like, yeah, well, I would feel the same way.
yeah,
That's what the whole point of the classes are. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not trying to preach to it. Like,
no.
like
You give a knowledge that nobody who hasn't been through that could even have. You
like,
guess that.
Like there's people that say like, I've been raped and that's why I do what I do, or that's why I am the way I am. You get what I'm saying?
Again, the cycle thing, right?
Yeah, the part of being the victim. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. So abuse or whatever it may be.
whatever it may be. Yeah.
Like now, and I'm sure because that shit is so much like leaked. Like there's so much like data that would tell you, okay, this happened, and a lot of these people go in, but there's a lot who don't.
Yeah.
There's a lot who, you know what I mean, like
That don't have the courage to say shit like that, because it's like, oh, they're to them it's like, oh, it is what it is, or whatever it may be. You get what I'm saying? They don't have the courage to say shit like that.
because like in certain situations, especially like you were saying, right, in a sexual assault type of situation, it happens to you, and some people are like, to talk about it, it's happening again. To have to discuss it, it's another round of basically you like the burglarized person's not going to feel comfortable in their home. To have to recant that story, it's like it's happening time and time again. I'm sure, and that's obviously just a guess. But I don't want to act like I could speak from that perspective or I'm knowledgeable on it. I just kind of want to be like, I don't know, like you said, you're speaking to the courage of people in those situations and shit. It's just.
But it's the courage that you need for you to forgive the other person that you did get violated from, or whatever it may be. You get what I'm saying? Like,
let me ask you this question: even if you get forgiveness from that person, or if you don't,
right.
Do you forgive yourself?
Well, I feel like if you ask for forgiveness, you may not all the time get an apology. So
I mean, from yourself though.
From yourself.
Yeah, have you? Is there a situation where you feel like you need to forgive yourself? Did you feel like okay?
Like, I forgive my sisters for not being there totally. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I speak what it is. You get what I'm saying? Because they could have kind of like guided me in a certain way to not be in the streets like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Have you had those discussions with them at all?
No, I really haven't. But
you think it's something that would help you or help them understand at least, or is it something at this point where you're like, for what?
Because I still choose to do what I do nowadays. You get what I'm saying? I'm not hitting shit or nothing like that. I'm not doing no burglaries or nothing like that. Yeah. But I still hustle. I do what I do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not out there like that. You get what I'm saying?
And that's also now let's put a different spin on it, right? Because the
but
kid
there is victims because of the way that I move myself now. You get what I'm saying? And it is what it is, bro. But it's either me or somebody else. You get what I'm saying?
1,000%. And let's take it off of just that thing. Let's just say now, like you said, I spoke to it. You have all the comfortability at the house. You're going to now be either, some people do go get to it just because that's the makeup of them. Some people don't. They sit back for a minute and then shit hits the fan and it's like, oh, fuck. I had a late start because of my own decision making, right? Mm-hmm. Through everything that you've been through, the mindset is get to it, right?
All right.
You've had time that was taken away. That was whether some would say lost, some would say, I don't know if it's a learning experience. I just think that it's like you would be able to speak to it. Obviously, I can't, but I mean, like, with whatever it is, whether it's time lost, whether it's lessons learned, when you're now out and about,
it's lessons learned, really, because you're really you're going through the situation, and as being you put yourself in the victim's point of view, and
then at a certain point, you actually are a victim maybe of the decision. Because now the consequences have put you in a position that had you been out, maybe you would have been able to do more that time. But man, like, you are now with the mindset of like maximize, right? Where some people are still complacent. Some people haven't had trials and tribulations. Some people haven't had hurdles that they had to get through, and they could be whatever, right? Like just doing the bare minimum. Going through the day-to-day, working a 9 to 5, happy to be an employee, no type of extra ambition, entrepreneurship, right? And it's cool, but that's the worker bee mentality, and that's what this whole shit's designed for, right? School, I'm sorry, but what is in cursive? What do we need to write in cursive? Like, what is social studies? Like, all this shit doesn't apply in the future. Math, maybe if you have certain jobs, right?
Like I said, bro, it all has to do with, like, your environment that you're in.
But so to me, what I'm saying is like school, God damn these scores, is like to teach you to be structured, but not for your own benefit. To be programmed, to be damn near controlled by currency at a low level, right? There's people out here who work 9 to 5s and they make whatever they make, right? And as the cost of living goes up, they see a little bit more bread, but a motherfucker who is out here on social media as an influencer or a fucking whatever it may be is at the house sitting on their ass and they're getting fucking paid, right? Making money while they're sleeping, and it's a sense of like what you're going to do, and there's opportunity out there, but I don't know, man. Like I look at shit and I'm like, somebody says they don't know the answer to a question, but everybody's got a fucking phone in their head. Where you can literally search up, where you grab that shit, you play a song, you look at fucking Instagram all day or whatever it is, right? And people are like, I don't know how to do this.
Right.
YouTube University is what they call it, right? You got to set something up, go search it or whatever the fuck, right? I feel like in a lot of ways, technology has made shit easier, but at the same time, it's made people lazier and more dependent.
You're right. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like a lot of times, with school, it's for structure to be like that, to be kind of controlled in a way. That's just my pessimistic view of it, of course. I think like scheduling, sticking to a routine, getting you prepared for work or whatnot. But man, like you either got it or you don't when it comes to certain things, right?
Yeah, you're right about that.
So I mean, like, what do you think? I don't know if there's any pro versus the con that came from the situation, but what do you think is something that you took away after all that you look at now and you're like, you know what?
Putting myself in the victim's point.
Okay.
If I'm the victim, then I'll understand it a little bit better. That's what I got out of the situation. Even though I'm still out here hustling or whatever it may be, I'm still I still kind of put myself in the victims, but like I said, that person may still get it from somewhere else, or
it's a conscious decision made. Yeah. Versus and it's, you know, I guess the reason why you can say victim is because some people are not in control.
Right.
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 And I guess that's a good topic to get to, right? Like control. It comes like you said with certain experiences too, right? If you're not in control, as soon as you have the ability to get back in it, you're not going to let anybody else or anything else, right, control you. Like we've had discussions and it's like I can let nobody tell me what the fuck to do.
Right.
It ain't no this is what it is because like you said, whether it be a color, whether it be a Marine or Army, you know what I mean? And not to say there's anything wrong with that. A lot of people go there and they get structured and they get knowledge and opportunity and money or whatever, right? But
that's a whole different topic. Like you could go into prison and become a victim to the politics and stuff like that. But like I said, that's a whole different topic.
yeah. So I don't know if I'm overstepping, shut me down. But now into that world,
Right.
you go from that realization of, okay, they're throwing these numbers at me. It's black and white. I'm not able to say my piece. Nobody gives a fuck about the other people in the situation. And now you're in there. What is what is that moment where you're at, whatever age you're at, right? Because when you go in there, you're basically new to that situation. Like, what is something that?
So I went in at 18. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
When I went in there, I was from juvenile straight to county, and it kind of like raises you. Like, to be honest with you, it raised me to be a man because of the fact that you didn't have that guidance, but now when you go through the prison, it kind of like guides you to be a certain man. But at the same time, it's like depends what you allow it to be. You get what I'm saying? Like, I speak for myself, right? Like, I had to program with certain people, even though that wasn't what I was getting to. Like, I didn't want to do that, but prison structure, it makes you either gangbang or it doesn't. Like, but if you choose the doesn't, it comes with like, oh, not being good in your area, or like it's fucked up situation, bro. But it is what it is. Like, I chose the wrong way, which is not wrong, but it's the right way. But
The harder route.
Not necessarily harder route, but you have to live with what your situation is. So I chose being no good to a situation that I feel like it was what I really needed to, due to the fact that, like, you have to listen to somebody else tell you what to do, or like I didn't feel like if I don't listen to my parents, what makes you think that I'm gonna listen to somebody else tell me what to do? That's the main thing right there. Like, I'm not gonna listen to somebody else tell me what to do, so why would I listen to someone?
Okay, can I ask you this question? Like, there's also, I mean, that is something where it's like, as a man, pride, ego, and just the beliefs that you stand on.
Right.
You ain't gonna be told. You ain't gonna be brainwashed. You ain't gonna be controlled.
Right.
Do you think that that's okay? That's something that a lot of men feel, right?
Right.
But some men would feel that way, but not able to really go that route when it comes down to it.
Right.
Do you think that part of the mom working her ass off and sleeping fucking with, at 3 a.m. Do you think that a lot of that comes from that because there was nobody telling you like what to do from the jump, and you was kind of like on your type of time from the jump?
No, I think it was like more like I'm not gonna listen to somebody due to the fact that I don't listen to nobody. You've
been making your decisions from the jump.
From the jump,
so why the fuck? And you're here now. Why are you gonna switch up it? Yeah. You've been in control. You've been in control of your life, and I guess so. You would say like accountable for whatever came your way. So why the fuck now are you gonna let somebody else have the remote to the car, right?
Right, and it is what it is. Like, it may seem bad, right? Because in the streets you might be a PC or like you're no good or whatever. But I never really banged in the streets, so it's it's like, to me, it was like irrelevant. Anything that had to do with game banging, it was irrelevant to me. So when I did go no good, it was irrelevant, but it's still reputation that you carry your whole life because of being PC or whatever it may be.
Shit, like, so as you said, like, it's something that you carry with you, right? And now, I mean, fuck, bro, like, you stand on how you feel. And at the end of the day, you're going to fucking, whatever it is, no matter what kind of fucking other view other people have, I feel like that comes with a self-respect that nobody can fucking take away, right?
You're
The
right.
outside looking in, like, it's like, hey, man, y'all can have your views over here, but where did you get those views? Because somebody told you, right?
Right.
Somebody, you know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, I can't say you're wrong in your beliefs. That's what you believe in.
Right,
But if somebody was never a follower from the jump, not saying that people are followers, just don't disrespect at all.
Right,
Please, you know what I mean? But like, if somebody's never allowed anybody else to take the wheel, it would be so foreign at this point that you would be in that motherfucker feeling like a stranger to yourself, right?
Right.
Damn, like,
But that's what comes with doing like bad shit in the streets. You get what I'm saying? That shit carries with you into prison. So like, what I had to say to like people that do game bang, like, if you're gonna do it to the max. Like don't back down off of game banging. Like you put your heart into that shit.
it's not for play, right?
No, it's not to play. It carries with you from when you're a juvenile all the way to prison, and it carries with you for life. But if you're not gonna do it with your mask, like I would say, like to your most ability, then don't even try it. Like, don't even get into it.
Would you feel like that outcome's already determined for you if that's the case?
Yeah.
Like, it's a dead deal. You already know it's just inevitable.
Yeah, for sure.
And can I ask you this? Like, how many people have you seen that were at that situation that never were gangbanging, and they got to that point
That
and chose to
weren't
jump in?
gangbanging?
Yeah, like people who came in and then they, you know, it's almost like.
Well, that word game banging is a very few. You know what I'm saying? Because no one does it for like the clout. It's more like they do it and then they back out after they see the reality of the situation. So I would say like they do it and they half-ass do it. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying like, if you're gonna do it to your max, because you're gonna do life over that shit. You get what I'm saying?
And is there like a vetting process, or is it? Because I mean, some shit. Now, I'm not talking gangs now. I'm just talking whatever organization, right? Some people just take whoever the fuck is willing to be,
Right.
you know, they want to join.
Right.
Like, you could be fucking whatever, like Cub Scouts, fucking, you know what I mean?
Right.
Take whoever, come on.
Right.
Is that something where you'll take somebody on knowing that maybe they might not be fully down, but you crash test them?
Well, yeah, you're gonna take anybody really at the end of the day because of the fact that it's just
Another
it's
body.
just a crash dummy. You get what I'm saying?
But the vetting process now, if you were somebody who was really concerned of having an actual soldier on your squad, what would that vetting process be? I guess I don't know, bro. I'm so outside looking in. I don't even like. I'm asking because I'm really oblivious to the shit.
Right. No, and I understand, right? Because it's like you can't really say like you can't really have an opinion until you actually go through the situation.
If you respect this shit like you should, you know, regardless, people are gonna have their views and say this is right and this is wrong. But when it comes down to it, it's a fucking way of life for a lot of people.
Right.
So I would be naive and I would be actually disrespectful if I acted like I knew what the fuck was going on. So I'm asking out of a place of like purely curious,
right,
and trying to be as conscious as possible.
Right. No, I understand.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's why I say though, like if you're gonna do something, do it to your best ability and go in. You're gonna go in full throttle on it. Don't half-ass do some because it's not like it's not that you're gonna back down from it because that reputation carries with you through prison and behind the walls. Like it's not a game. It's not a game to do none of that, and it is what it is. But you gotta hold that shit to your best ability once you go in as a game banger or whatever it may be. Like I said, like me, I ended up just going paisa, and at the end of the day, I ended up going like PC or whatever you may call it. But that's because I seen my car not really in a structural way to where like we are militant. You get what I'm saying? So I looked at it like, oh, we're not built like that. You get what I'm saying? Like I may be built like that, but that doesn't mean that my others are gonna be built like that. And due to they might be in there for like little petty stuff, which is like domestic violence doing 3 years or whatever it may be, and the rest of us are in there for long time and might give it all we got, but the other people are not gonna give it all they got, so we're gonna get fucking fucked up. And that was what I had to like make up my mind, like, oh, am I gonna really do it, or am I gonna either I do it and I maybe catch more time, or I don't do it and it is what it is.
Maybe just be a little bit more difficult.
Right. Because we're gonna get fucked up due to the fact that it's
people are probably gonna try you.
Yeah.
Fuck. Shit, bro. It's wild, like hearing.
And it's crazy because like I went through the situation. Like I went, my rep at the time got called out, and he didn't back up his own self. So what makes you think that he's gonna back up me in the situation where I fucking ended up fucking doing something behind what I stand on, and he's not backing up his own shit. So I'm like pretty much lost cause. You get what I'm saying? Like
it's like going out into a sport with way less players. That, you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
1-on-5 or some shit.
Exactly.
In a sense, man. Like I hear you a lot in this conversation. Say it is what it is, but I also feel like because of how I know bits and pieces about you, obviously, I could never say I know it all, but I know enough to say that I want to say that it is also what you make it, right? Because you say it is what it is, and yeah, you get thrust into these situations, but then it also is how the fuck you move after the fact, right? And I can say, bro, like I am all that shit aside, just who you are as an individual is like something that I respect a lot. No,
it's like you get pushed into being either a Southsider or a Northerner.
I'm talking about you, like who you are today, where you are today.
But like I said, bro, once you get to prison, it's a whole different ball game. So either you get pushed into being a Southsider or you get pushed into being a Northerner.
Okay.
And I'm telling you because I've been through the system.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I'm not telling you because I'm not like, oh, I'm cut from a different.
Oh no, and maybe I'm not wording it right, but I mean like, what I mean by that is like, you said it is what it is, not just based on the prison thing, on decision making, on family and support or presence and stuff like that, right? You said it is what it is so many times, but I feel like you've made what it was into what it can be and what it is now.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? And not just whether it's success or financial gain or responsibility or discipline, but just how you carry yourself as an individual.
It was like, oh, I wanted to get accepted into something that it wasn't.
And you know what's crazy is now you still taking that road less travel because where most people would like to conform and fit in, you be doing the shit that is true to you to this day,
Right.
in my opinion. Like we done had discussions, bro, and we've had just talks that have led me to believe, like, oh shit, you know, fuck, bro, like you would only hope that some people will be able to keep it solid with you, but when somebody goes above and beyond as far as solid is concerned, not because you're trying to fit in, but because you're yourself and this is how you carry yourself, that shit's different, bro. So it is what it is, but it's also what you make it, and that takes a little bit. Credit to you.
Right.
And I'm sure that, you know, I don't know if you take credit. I think
I do, but it's I would say like I take it as what it is, as how you look at me for being a person that I am with you.
yeah, but I mean, I also feel like you don't really care. not that you don't care how you portray yourself, but you could portray yourself to the fullest of respect and dignity and all that shit, and somebody could just be ignorant and look at it different, right? Because
but that
it's strange to them.
That doesn't change the way that you are
Hell no.
as a person.
That's what I'm saying though. So it's not like if I wasn't educated enough, or at least not educated, but if I wasn't as receptive and perceptive, fuck, if I couldn't view this shit for what it is, then I wouldn't be able to fucking like say whatever. Like, some people might be intimidated by that shit. You know what I mean? Like, might be scared off.
And that's something that people are intimidated of me.
So then there comes that view where it really ain't even their view. They're just insecure.
Right. You're right on that, because like I have people that are cool with me and they might be good, like as far as like on a good yard. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And still be cool with me because of the fact that I didn't really tell on nobody, or I wasn't out there, like I didn't snitch on nobody. You get what I'm saying? Like I didn't do nothing to where someone has to be like, oh, you got to watch out for that certain person.
No, solid, but maybe solo.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
it's like. So it's like I'm still real, but maybe my situation makes me look bad, and that's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, for people who are of that mindset and in that world,
Right.
but for somebody like I said, me, I'm oblivious to a lot of that shit.
Right.
What I am, very knowledgeable. I'm not knowledgeable. What I am, very what I could see, what I am aware of,
Right.
is not you in that situation, not you in that role, as far as whatever category would be thrown in, whatever title would be put on it, right? I'm talking about man to man, seeing you, how you operate, what you stand on, what you believe in.
And I feel like that's what everybody should stand on. You get what I'm saying? Like
It's probably the only shit that matters.
and it is, right? But due to the politics and stuff like that, like it's not. You get what I'm saying?
Because
And,
even outside, right?
yeah, but that shit carries through life.
So you're out and you're in the day-to-day life.
and
Somebody
someone,
else might have been in that situation, wherever, whether it be the same fucking boat that you were in or a different boat, but with a team or with a squad.
they have to fucking get off on me because of the fact that like of me being no good to them. You get what I'm saying? And to the politics behind of the situation. And like I said, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah.
But that's at the end of the day understandable.
Yeah.
Because they have to do what they have to do. But me being me, I'm solid. You get what I'm saying? Like I never really did nothing to nobody, or I never debrief or nothing like that. And like I stand on what I stand on.
Yeah.
But it may come across bad, but it like
I think it's just honestly admirable to the sense of like all you can want from a person is to be who they are when they walk in the room, genuine. Not nothing that you have to dissect and try to download data from later. You know what I mean?
Right.
Come as you are and be what the fuck it is that you are and do what you do. I'm sure that a lot of people who would say, like, you use terms, and forgive me, bro, like you use terms like no good, right?
Yeah.
Because of whatever the politics and shit is.
Right.
But I'm sure that there's some people who have people who are deemed good to them who they know don't have the same characteristics or abilities that you do.
You're right.
So now, whatever it is, right?
Because there's a lot of people that are deemed no good due to politics, because they might have fucked the homies broad that does have a little bit of power, and now they're deemed no good.
Bro, I mean, like, even if a motherfucker has somebody who was their comrade, right? But they don't carry the same characteristics as you, aside from politics. Like, they know that if they were to go to war, this homie that they got would probably not be able to hold them and carry themselves the way that you would. But because of politics, they got to say whatever they got to say. But that respect has to be there, even if they have to go through the motions and treat shit as such due to law and politics and what it be, right?
You're right.
Which to me is like, that's a moment where it's like checkmate, right?
You're right, yeah.
Because you had to go this route and you got to do the difficult shit. And yeah, you say it carries on with you, but also the fucking makeup of who you are and what you were able to do does as well. And now it's like, look, you could say all you want, bro, but we could lie to ourselves all day, but eventually there's a mirror in the house. And you look at that shit,
Right.
it's like fuck.
You're right. You're right. And that's where bad calls are made because of the fact that like people say certain shit behind other people that are not like that, but they get put in that spot because of people that are supposedly deemed no good. You get what I'm saying?
Either you wronged me or I see you as a threat.
Yeah.
Maybe, right?
Maybe.
For me,
and I understand what you're getting at, but it is that.
Jesus Christ. So, the politics, somebody with power, they're able to now deem you good or no good, and now you have to deal with the consequences of that based on something that could just be
Jealousy.
Yeah, jealousy, fear, insecurity, feel threatened.
All that.
And so now there's I'm sure people who face the ultimate consequence from that shit.
And that's what's fucked up about the system, like, because now they're deemed no good because of the fact that situations like that, like they might have fucked the homeboy's girlfriend. You get what I'm saying? And now they're no good, and it's fucked up. But that's what you have to live with, like, going into prison system.
So, for somebody who's has no knowledge of it, you see fucking TV shows or whatever it is, right? How it's depicted on shit like that.
Right.
What would you say? I don't even know if I was in that shit, if I would watch a show like that, right? But if you see some shit like that, what do you think is like some of the most misconceptions and some of the shit that is just like so far off?
That's why I say, like, if you're gonna do something, bro, do it to your max ability. Don't half-ass shit the situation. You better give it your all, and that's all. Okay. Like, don't half-ass shit the situation. If you're gonna game bang, do it to your max ability and do it with your heart.
When you say that, right, what would be the difference between somebody who did it with their max ability and someone who's going through the motions? Like, what is like, to give me like one characteristic or two, like maybe an example to where somebody would be like, this is doing it right, and this is just prolonging some bad shit happening to you.
Well, the bad thing about that, like, being like going with emotions, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Like going through the motions is that you're doing it without a care. But if you do it with your heart, you're gonna do it to your max ability, and you might rank up, or you might have some type of power in the organization.
So to make it like digestible for people who have no idea about that, it's like if you believe in your job and your company and you go to work with the best attitude and mindset, then you're gonna be the better worker.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I believe in. Like that's what it is. Like if you're gonna do it with your max ability to conquer something. Don't half-ass do it, because you're not gonna get nowhere if you half-ass do it.
And I'm sure that even with the full heart behind you and all the effort that you could possibly give, sometimes the end result is still unfavorable. Is that something?
Right. You're right.
You know what I mean? Is that something that would deter somebody who's been around there for so long and seen some shit like that?
You're right, but that's something that only they're gonna brainwash a certain person to do that. You get what I'm saying? Like, but that's like that's me saying something that the prison system won't tell you. You get what I'm saying? That's something that that nobody's gonna tell you about that. You get what I'm saying? Like that's something that you just have to go through to learn it.
So, institutionalized is a word that's used a lot, right? Mm-hmm. People, like the same way that I feel about maybe medical shit. They don't want to cure you. They want a customer. They want to give you medicine. They want to put you on a prescription. And the prescription has side effects. It's going to make you a patient for some other shit.
Right.
Can you speak to maybe some people or how, or maybe an example, no names obviously, but of something that you see where a person was so much institutionalized, where that was comfort to them, where that was home, so when they were home, it was so foreign that they like. Have you know any cases of that?
No, to be honest with you, I don't know any names to word out like.
No, not a name. But
like institutionalized. That's what you're talking about, right? Yeah. No, I understand. Well, there was somebody that I seen like go back in while I was still doing my time up in the county, and he was when he left the county, he was like 200 pounds. He was his weight, and when I seen him again, he was like probably like 100 pounds because he went out to the streets and came back in.
Drug use,
yeah. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that's what that's what they like get accustomed to, like going in and using.
So it's almost like they have more control while there. When you're out, it's kind of like free for all in the decision making process. When it's left in your hands, is it really the greatest?
Right.
Yeah.
That shit's fucked up though. Like I swear, when I seen him, I was like, all right, he's cool, you know, like he was a decent size. And then when I seen him again, I didn't even recognize the dude until like I actually like paid attention to the dude. I was like, damn. He went out cool, you know, like heavy size and everything.
What was the time span on that?
That's probably like 3 months.
Damn.
Yeah. So institutionalized, yeah, I know.
That's crazy. 3 months out on the streets, and that happens, and then you get back to prison. It's almost like a weight off your shoulders. Like, cool, good.
Right.
That's fucked up, man. But shit, I think it's kind of designed that way. And sometimes, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's what like the system kind of like makes it like go down like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be like that, but they choose to do it like that to be in and out and come back in and
they give you enough rope to either climb out or hang yourself with.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's fucked up, but it is what it is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like that dude didn't like. I'm guessing like he probably doesn't have a house to be in at.
Yeah. Man, like, so a lot of people want to know what's the like most disturbing or most sad or depressing shit. But can you give me a story of something that you experienced in there that was actually like not a positive, but maybe a positive?
Well,
and something that you seen in there that was like, okay, I don't know. I don't even know if that makes any sense, but like.
The worst thing that I've seen was someone facing a long time due to the case being a state case. I mean, a federal case, and him have to do state time over the fact that someone pleaded guilty to state time over being a fed time, which was he was robbing banks, and he was getting charged for a state crime when it wasn't a state crime; it was a federal crime.
Federal Reserve.
Right, so it's like, why are you getting charged with a federal? I mean, with the state, if
it's
it
like
was
a double dip,
right? And I'm talking about like not only one case over that; it's like a bunch of cases. So that was pretty fucked up. You get what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna get caught for doing bank robberies and do a state crime over the fact that it was technically a federal case? You get what I'm saying?
It's like people would think like double jeopardy would come into that, but it's sort of like how people will be like, yeah, you can fly from Cali to Nevada with weed, but in the airplane, it's a federal crime, right? Like it's just these certain loophole, I guess what you would call it, but
it's just that someone pleaded guilty to a certain case, and now they have the right to
charge everybody,
charge everybody for that case as a state crime.
Damn.
And that was fucked up because technically he would have only done like 10 years over it being a federal crime.
And now everybody's doing way more than that.
Now everybody's doing way more over
his plea.
Over his plea, yeah.
Damn. So.
And he ended up fucking. I don't know. I can't talk about this shit.
Of course not. But one could assume that that's going to get you a lot of negative attention. Of course. Positive. Is there anything that you've seen somebody that's gone in there and you saw like a maturation and change of them in that time that you had, or maybe?
Well, like going through those classes, you see a lot of people trying to change. You get what I'm saying? But that they really change is it's up to the person. You get what I'm saying? Like, I could be like, oh, I'm changing for the better, but technically, he's not. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's not doing it for the program. He's doing it half-ass or whatever it may be.
Have you changed for the better?
I would say that I did, but I'm still hustling and doing shit that I'm not supposed to. But
yeah, I mean, yeah.
So like I'm still doing something that I'm not supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Still accountable though, right?
Yeah,
like,
I'm still accountable for what I do.
Because you look, there's liquor stores on every corner of the block.
Right.
There's I mean, shit, pharmaceutical shit. There's people pumping out prescription pills at a high level. Right. They're eventually going to become, heroin users and addicts and all this shit, right? There's Ponzi schemes with companies that motherfuckers got kids walking on blocks selling Kirby's, bro, to like old ladies who would even go use that shit for $800 or something, right? Right. Like you said, somebody's going to get it however they're going to get it. Right. You're absolutely right. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, like people will be quick to throw a negative a connotation on whatever it is that is being done because it's deemed illegal. But then you look at shit like alcohol sales or tobacco or fuck that. The food that's on the shelves, the option at the grocery store is going to cost you fucking $35. You go to the fucking McDonald's, it'll cost you $5, but you're going to fucking get all the negative effects that come from it, right? Right. Yeah. Your children are now eating shit food. They're watching shit TV. They're being raised by fucking iPads and video games and YouTube. It's like we allow all that shit to happen, and it's a social whatever you want to call it. It's networking. It's influencer. It's whatever, bro. Like my kids be watching fucking people playing the most minuscule fucking video game and yelling and screaming and looking ridiculous. Right. And I got the fucking game in the room. I just bought that shit for them. You know what I mean? I'm like, you want me to get you a camera? Like, if people are watching this shit at this high of a level, like, why the fuck? You can buy your own fucking game. You know what I mean? You can start kicking in on this PG&E bill or something. Like, but all these things are options. Shit, OnlyFans, Patreon, whatever it is, right? People are getting money for whatever it is, and like entrepreneurial spirit and business structure could come from anything. Right, you're right. You could be selling fucking candy bars for a fundraiser and do it better than everybody else. Right. Does that make you better than the person who
selling it legit? Yeah, no, you understand it. And I understand what you're saying, but because I'm part of it, but it's not like I'm.
You ain't strong arming nobody.
No, they have the will. They have the power to not go through it. You get what I'm saying, or not?
It's either that or not go through the drive-through. Exactly. Or not, or not go to the couch. Exactly. Right. It's a willpower. It's a discipline, and it's a decision every fucking day that people have. Right. You're right. Me personally, myself, I've self-medicated to the point in my life to where it was like the rock bottom for me, and I decided I want to get up and go. Right. I want to go to the left. I went to Texas, and half of my family's in Texas on my father's side. Right. Just being fully transparent. My mom fucking moved mountains for me. My sisters, they did all the shit in the world that could have made me the greatest person right away. But I was doing dumb shit. I called myself out, and I was like, I might need just a change of scenery, right? Where you don't know a bunch of people who could get you whatever it is that you're trying to find.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you have to want it for yourself, bro.
Yeah, but I wanted to not be... It still was kind of maybe like a fucking cop-out too, though, because you should be able to do that shit in the environment you're in if you're really about that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you separate yourself and you go over there, right? And I went over there. And I seen, I didn't even talk to him. This is the most like cowardice shit of it all, and I'm being fucking self-disparaging, but I got to because it's just honest. I didn't even have the courage to tell moms what it was that I was going there for. Right. And I imagine your mom, bro, she was a single parent. She lived her whole entire life and didn't even fucking break your little thought process of who your father was, right? She didn't tell you that bro was a failure and a fuck up. She let you learn on your own and watched you fucking be upset when he wasn't there and, be a shoulder for you, right? And then you go and decide that, oh shit, I've been fucking up over here with all this love, all the hugs and everything in the world.
But that's being a victim at the end of the day, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Like You being a victim over that shit.
No, so like playing the victim role.
No, it is what it is. Like, you are the victim of the situation.
But I also feel like the villain, right? Because I didn't tell moms. So now I go to Texas. She fucking took me to the place that was going to get me to Texas. And still, she over there, like, she fucking probably breaking. But wouldn't fucking even put me to that consequence of having to have that conversation. Let me go, right? And I go over there. I spend a couple of months, 3 months. It was a government fucking shutdown, bruh. Or else I would have had the documents that I needed. I would have had a job. I would have had an apartment. And I would have been set up over there. And who knows what would happen. But being over there and finally throwing the fucking fishing pole into the water and trying,
Right.
you realize, oh, fuck, bro. I'm getting bites here, left and right, left and right. It's not because of Texas. It's because of me in a different mindset. And I got to the point where I was like, it's a slap in the face if I come over here and I become a man or responsible, and for my mom not being fucking present for it, not being, not reaping the benefits of it, right? So I come home, and Texas might think, oh fuck, this dude just came over here and left. Maybe he took advantage. He just wanted to chill. He didn't. The opportunity came about. He left.
Right.
Well, fuck, baby. They don't realize there was no slight to y'all. Y'all, like I said, I took a lot of tools from other places that I've been. My Uncle Lupe over there, man, he made me the father that I am today, right?
Right, I understand.
But that time over there, I came home and they might feel a certain type of way, but I came home to my mother and I was now not her son. I was a man that she raised and adapted and did that shit and made at least the first decision to move in that direction and then continue to grow as I did, right? But
you chose that though for the better of you.
yeah,
that's understandable, and that's the way it is. Like, you gotta want it for yourself. You can't want it for somebody else
But what's crazy is even in that sense, right? Like, yeah, I was working, I was responsible, I had structure, I had, bills, I had responsibilities and things that I was doing to turn in the right direction.
Right.
But even in that sense, when I had my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, excuse me, and her 3 children, because at the time there were her 3 children, I respected the fact that I wasn't given access right away, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was a good mom. She was like, excuse me, y'all. You're gonna wait. We're gonna vet this process out. I'm gonna make sure that I know you, that I'm not being duped, that this ain't whatever, man. Like, I'm not being fooled, right? Then I get to the children, and you're young in the sense of your mind because you ain't never really fucking thought about that shit. And you're like, how the fuck am I gonna raise these kids? And then they fuck around to raise you, right? To a level that you fucking, now you say you can't do it for anybody else, but shit, bro, I know that I jumped into action for them more than I would for myself or ever did, more than I did for my mom, and that fucking reassurance for her, right? And you know what that did? Gave me the fucking wherewithal to know that, damn, I am that and then some. And my mom got a reassurance that is way better than I could have done for her solo, right? Full fucking circle, bro.
No, that's real shit, bro. And I don't have no nothing to say about that. Like, you did what you did, and you conquered what you wanted to, but you did it for yourself, though.
Yeah, I mean, it took, yeah, but I don't know, bro. All that there, right? And it's not to pat myself on the back, and I promise you, it's not because it's like, oh, clap for me. It's not that, but the shitty part is, you do all that, and it's still at the. It's only gonna be the way that it is, determined on how the relationship with that person is, right?
Well, yeah. If you think about it, and you sit down and if they're judging you for the flaws that you do, then yeah, they might not look at you for the positive stuff that you do.
Man, I see people who change their life, complete 180s, dedicate their time, their effort, their love, their everything, their presence, their patience, their whatever. And because whatever it is, bro, like, you could be a biological father, you could be a stepfather, you could be a biological mother, stepmother, whatever it is. You are always going to be kind of on this eggshell and in a certain position, right? Like, you could do everything in the world to provide and be there and be present and do the shit that whoever is that isn't there doing it, isn't doing it. But, brothers, there's always like 3 sides to a coin, 3 sides to a story, right? And
well, technically, there's only 2 sides, but
But
they might put up that wall to where they make you feel some type of way.
well, to me, the reason why I say 3, the man's side, the woman's side, and then that little middle ground, maybe, where there's a little, where some of the where they may have embellished in their shit or made themselves look better, where they actually like a little bit of realization there, and then maybe even more so third side, the children, right? That side of the story. And I don't say any of that shit to say anything. I just say like, we go as men, we beat ourselves up worse than anybody in the world can, right? Like, somebody could be like, you disappoint me, but do you not realize like I fucking disappointed myself for so long and disappointed my moms, people that fucking had way more of a bigger role in my life, right? And whatever it may be. So it's like, as men, bro, you're taught, get up, don't cry, wipe that off, get to, walk it off, all this shit, right? As a woman, you're taught, or I don't know what a woman's taught. I know this. I know that there's certain ways that as men you feel like you're supposed to cater to and treat and operate around a woman, right? Yeah. But this day and age shit is so different, bro. People feel like, it's different roles, dog. No,
I understand what you're saying. I definitely know what you're saying.
I went on a tangent. My fault, brother. I went on a tangent. A lot of times with this podcast and shit, you're gonna get out of it what you put into it. And I was just kind of, when you're having a conversation like this, some shit that a lot of people wouldn't even be able to fucking comprehend or understand.
No, I don't understand. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've heard people like tatted up, fucking 1 and an 8 on their face and gang banging to the max. Like, break down and say that they got raped as kids. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand what you getting at, and that's understandable, bro. And it takes that to get that person to another level of their life. You get what I'm saying? Like, acknowledge what had happened and forgive those who they needed to forgive for, not for you, not for them, but for you. You get what I'm saying? Like, like I said, I've forgiven my sisters, even though that like they didn't ask for it, but it is what it is. I do it because of me. Like, you can't carry that on your shoulders. Yeah, I'm not gonna be carrying that shit over my shoulders like that 24/7 or nothing like that.
Bro, and to be a hell like 1,000% honest, first day I ever met you, and we were chilling, and maybe the whole vibe was different because I have a shit. I thought we was in my garage. I have a canvas on my wall of a brother of ours that passed, and actually I have a couple canvases, but we got together and we call it a barbecue, right? Not a barbecue for our brother Joe Baba. And it's like we get together and we chill, and some people bring their kids, whatever it may be, right? So the morale was high because we're around folks and we're having conversations and we're chilling, and then you guys come through, and the other homies leave that have been there for a while. You guys just got there, we're chilling, and something that stuck out to me. I'm gonna say 2 things right now. I don't even think I ever spoke to you about this, but like it starts raining, right? Just met you. Starts raining outside. We're just grabbing shit as we go, right? Taking the cushions in, whatever, bringing chairs. I'm doing that. I turn around, I see you grabbing condiments that was there, the mayo and the ketchup that was there for the fucking whatever food, right? And bringing it in, and that's something that you just did. See, most people would look at it and be like, okay, whatever. But when the way that I look at shit, I look at that and dissect it from the jump, and I'm like, damn. Some people would be like, fuck this fool's ketchup. Fuck his mayo, right? Or some people would be like, oh, he got it. Or maybe like, should I do this? Am I out of pocket? Am I overstepping? But that's just how you were, right? That's the minuscule side of things. That's just the thing that most people would overlook, right? Not minuscule. I'm sorry. That's dope. The next thing was like, I ain't never had anybody in a conversation make me even think twice about seeing my father's side of things in this situation of the single parent household, right? Right. But the way that you speak, it's not that you're wrong. You're not telling people they're wrong. You say like the 2 sides, 3 sides, whatever of the story, right? Have you ever had that discussion? Are you going based off of one side of things, right? And when you said it, the way that you delivered it, I couldn't do nothing but take it in at that moment, but it hit more later. Right. When we're not there. Right. When no one's there. Silence, driving, whatever, right? I'm like, damn. And it's like, shit like that, most people wouldn't even have a care to even give somebody that kind of fucking thought process, much less have to me, I don't look at it as courage. I look at it with the way you do shit, you're just going to do it. And
that's what it is. Like, I just do it just to do it because of the fact that, like, I know how how it would be being the victim of the situation or whatever it may be. You get what I'm saying? Like,
and who knows, bro? Like, a lot of times people will cast stones at situations, but they don't know what it would have been if they were thrust into those situations early in life, young or blindsided by shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I now look at things differently in a sense, but in that certain situation, even after thinking about it, I respected you so much for saying that shit. But I'll be 1,000% honest. After that day, it was like, nah, because that ball's been in the court later in life. You know what I mean? And I won't. Maybe I'm still wrong. You know what I mean? But I thought about it for a second, and nobody in my entire life has ever made me be able to look at shit like that for a moment. So like, hey, if this man ever hears this shit, he better fucking thank you from a distance. You know what I mean? Because there was a moment where it was like, and maybe there was a chance. Maybe something would have swayed. Maybe if I was thinking differently. Maybe if I wasn't so fucking prideful, right? Or maybe so, shit, people could say hurt, emotional, whatever it is, right? Or dealing with whatever it is. But hey, that's what I'm saying. Different individual. All the shit that you have dealt with, seen, experienced, and you still go into life in this regular fucking world that we all live with a bunch of people who have no fucking idea of what shit could be. Right. And you out here just doing you and offering shit that most people wouldn't even care to even ask or even have the insight for others. You know what I mean? So it is what it is all the time. A lot of times it is what you make it. And that's how I feel about, how you move and maneuver out here.
Right. I hear you, bro. And it is that, because at the end of the day, that's what I was taught due to the system. And I'm not saying like, oh, like hold it up on high or nothing like that, but it is that, you get what I'm saying? Like, it does teach you a little bit if you actually take the time to pay attention to the fact that you might be a victim too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what it is. Like, you might be a victim to a certain crime, maybe even fucking rape or something, and now you're going through the trials and tribulations of the fact that
grieving later, go through that process, go through now, not only like maybe forgiving yourself or accepting certain decisions that you made, but now being like, damn, maybe I wasn't fully in control of that shit. Maybe I wasn't steering the car at times.
Exactly.
But fuck, bro, now you are. And now you caring enough to steer other people's shit. Exactly. To put the effort and care into situations where, I mean, bro, people have these notions of shit. People can sit from the outside and fucking try to quarterback somebody else's fucking team. Because I've been in situations so many times where people have conversations and they give you their fucking opinion on things, and it's black and white. It's the law to them. Yeah. But they haven't been on the other side. Right. They've, whether it's a stepfather or a stepmother role, where it's like, oh, I have my kids, and this is the only way to fucking operate. The only way that it would be genuine. The only way to be right. But bruh, it's way fucking more to me. It takes more to now apply yourself to situations where the world will tell you don't have to. You don't owe anybody shit, right? But you don't. But people don't. The people who do that don't see it that way. Right. You know what I mean? People be like, "Oh, bro, you don't owe nothing to anything." Nah, bro, because when you make a bond or when you make a decision yourself, you know what I mean? Whatever it is that you stand on, you stand on. So, and it don't even got to be that parenting situation. It could be whatever it is. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. From it is what it is to it is what you make it, bro. That's how I feel like about this whole entire thing. And I could never put myself in your shoes, but from the view that I have now, bro, I know that whatever fucking shoes you're in, bro, like you're running a race that a lot of people couldn't do at the pace that you are right now. And I know you ain't even the person that's gonna do it for yourself, so I'm gonna do it for you, man. I'm gonna climb it up because
I already went through the situation to where I had like the whole classroom stand up and be like, "Oh, clap for me," yeah. So hey, because I tell you how it is, you get what I'm saying. And I went through it, you get what I'm saying?
I'm happy that happened because it should. And I'm glad that I'm not the only person who felt that way. And I know that people listening to this shit are going to feel that way as well. And I also know that you're going to listen to this shit back and be like, no, I don't need that. Oh, don't clap. I don't need all that. Because that's, but bruh, take, it ain't about fucking everything, fuck wrong or right at certain times, bruh. It's about fucking just, hey, take the flowers, bruh. A lot of people can't take compliments. A lot of people don't, you know what I mean? Yeah. Hey,
Nah,
bro, you're a motherfucker who don't see another person's success as a detriment to yours, right? Shit, you encourage motherfuckers to do it. You saw me today. You're like, bro, let's get to it. Let's do the show. The fuck? Let's break the fourth wall. I had a piece that wasn't fucking coming off from the music equipment that was needed for the fucking boom arm for the podcast equipment. And I'm like, bro, you don't improvise. I'll hold it, whatever. It's all good. Bro, I was like, no, there's an ace right up the way. Ooh. Get in the car, go over there, and just make the motion. And we get back. He said, bro, I just really want to do this with you. You know, not for you, with you. You know what I mean? Sometimes it is what it is, but a lot of times it is what you make it, bro. You done made this show a good one, bro. And yeah, man.
Like you said, bro, it is what it is, and a lot of times it is what you make it.
Hey, in this sense, it is exactly what you make it. You done made it. You made it inspirational for a lot of people, and I'll be the first one to say for me, for sure. To anybody listening right now, I mean, I appreciate y'all tuning in and tapping in, and I think we all got to take a minute to just think about how we can take shit from this that we don't know about and apply it to our lives. How we can sit here and, you know, a lot of people will create chaos.
Or blame themselves. Or
Either blame themselves, or some people create chaos and they play the victim role after the fact. Right? I had to check myself for this shit. Like, bro, how embarrassed for certain shit and decisions you made with the opportunity to do better, right? But that's not to beat yourself up. It's to be like, hey, at least you have that accountability where most people wouldn't. And fuck, you get inspired, and you also get put in place when somebody shares a testimony and a story like this. It does it the whole time as a no, not this ain't, oh, you know, fuck, bro, you ain't taking, you know, I'm not even gonna try to put this shit in words. Y'all been listening to this fucking pod. Shout out to the brother Chuy, bro. I appreciate you doing this, dog. And this is gonna be something I listen to back way after the fact of the show being released. I'm gonna listen to this a year from now, 2 years from now. I remember these moments, bro, and just be appreciative to you. And shit, whoever's in your motherfucking life better be appreciative to you. I'll say that. Shout out to brother Chuy, man. Shout out to everybody for tuning in, tapping in. Until next time, follow makes you happy. Return the favor. We gonna holler at y'all later. We going.
Unprofessional as Fuck Podcast.
Struggle in the wind. Every time I pull a